TikTok or special effects. We have lots of things that we think really augment this social media experience. So the first thing is, you're flipping through and you're getting different artists, right? And as you can see, there's a wide variety of artists there, right? Sorry, that will make it much easier. As you flip through and see artists, one of the things you'll notice, which you have not noticed on social media up to date, is that there's a strange thing, which you can see down the bottom of the screen, called Visit App. And every one of these artists has an app which they've created, perhaps in 20 minutes or less, and it has their whole universe. So one of the things about flicking through videos is that if you actually love an artist, what do you then do? What you can do is watch some more videos, but the artist may have all sorts of other things they want to present. Everything from interviews to videos to merchandise to NFTs. They might want to live stream from time to time, whatever they want to do. So suddenly, as you're flicking through videos, you have access to the Fenix360 app of that artist. The other thing you have access to, as you can see on the bottom of the screen, is all of their social media. And this is important. We're not at all precious about it. We feel as though the artist should be able to present everything they want to present, and we have to earn the right that if we're actually producing more income for them, more audience for them, then they will start to use us more. But in the beginning, if they have other social media that they're making income from, or they just want to use to promote themselves, they are very welcome to use that, and we're not suggesting they should stop using any of the tools. We want to add lots of tools. We don't want the artists to subtract any tools at all. So I think that as I go along with the demo, perhaps I should invite people if they want to ask questions for any portion of the demo.
Any questions so far? It can be anything. I mean, it is a little bit overwhelming at first. So if you have any questions, please do. Okay, I've got a question on. What countries so far is Fenix360 in?
Well, technically we're in the whole world, but the whole world does not know about us yet. So we've decided to do it by actually going to each region, which we think is a very important exercise. We don't expect to sit, somewhere in the world and expect the whole world to pay attention to us. So far, we've launched in Mexico City for Latin America, which was a great launch. We've just launched last week in Munich, Germany. Now we're in KL. We'll also be doing launches in the next couple of weeks in both Jakarta, Manila, and in Singapore. Eventually, we intend to go to every region, and towards the end of June probably we'll be launching in London and New York. The idea is to introduce people to it. It's available everywhere in the world, but of course not everybody knows about us yet.
So Alan, if an artist like Sheila Amzor Mio go onto this Fenix app, the rest of the world potentially could become their fans and be aware of them because of this.
Absolutely, that is the case. And what we've also discovered is that often artists are confined to their local markets, and if you have a global app, people who are not part of the local market start to discover. We've had just, as we've been creating this, we've had all sorts of collaborations occurring between artists from different countries, etc. It's really been very exciting. We hope that in time, it doesn't happen instantly obviously, but we hope in time we can actually create an international platform that even the non-superstar artists can have an international following, right? That tends to be more the case for superstars, obviously, but we hope that just your average working artist can have followers from all sorts of places.
What about language, Alan? Is there any plans to do multiple languages so that people who do not speak English fully, for example, will be able to access?
Yeah. The answer is we already do have some language translations. We will have more, and it's very, very important. I'm always mindful of the fact that, for example, Facebook, when it was starting out, translated itself, I think at the time, into 26 languages, and it exploded, right? Although Facebook, for example, is considered to be an American enterprise, the truth of the matter is the American portion of users is a very small percentage of the total users as it exploded globally. So I think it's very important to have local languages and local artists, because that's what people really, really want to see.
Thank you.
Okay, so going onwards in describing the app, one of the things that we believe is that videos are appropriate for certain types of artists, but photos are also appropriate. So it might be a model, it might be art, right? It might be anything and everything that is better suited to a photo, and there also is a feed. And as with the video feed, for every one of these artists, whether they be a painter or a digital artist, an NFT creator, a model, a dancer, for every one of these you can also go and visit their app, right? Now, when we go to search, you can actually search. If you've heard about an artist, you can actually search for that artist. For example, I was showing before an artist, actually an actress, a model by name of Jerry Lee. I like showing this because she added thousands of photos to her app. This app we talk about can be created by an artist. It can also be created by anybody. And the basis of our social media is you create the app in hopefully less than 20 minutes, although if you add thousands of photos, it will obviously take you more. And you're able to actually share it. When you share it, you can either put it on a platform for everybody to see it, or if you want to do private sharing just to friends for a special occasion, you could do that also, right? So as we go into an app, we see the various functions of the artist app they've created. Now there's obviously some sort of biography there, then the app can be shared. When an artist creates an app, I should explain that what they're creating is what's known as a shareable web app. So it doesn't require an app store, right? It simply is something they can share with a URL to their fans. But when their fans get that app, they then are encouraged to download from the App Store the full app. But we very much wanted a way that artists could share with their fans, fans could share with each other, and this creation of a shareable app is a very, very important aspect for us. You'll notice here, you can also donate to the artist. At any time, you can donate our currency, Fenix coins, which the artist can then cash out on. It's got all the links to the artist. It's got all their social media. It's got featured products, featured songs, their social media posts, which they can very readily absorb into the app, and they can also post on the app to all of their social media. It's got videos, it's got photos, it's got their interests. Whatever the artist wants to present can be presented in this app. And this artist can simply put on their existing social media a simple URL which will enable anybody to install that app in seconds, literally, on their phone. Any other questions?
Any questions? So far, I think they're all reserving the questions for... we have one in the corner.
Excellent.
Hello, can we get a mic? Introduce yourself, please.
Hello, hi, my name is Hilal from Esrawani. So I would like to know, because I can see that there are a lot of revenue streams that artists can actually explore through the Fenix360. What are the killer products that Fenix360 have that can actually attracts artists to go into this application?
Very good question. What I like about the question is it emphasizes revenue, and clearly everything's important, but revenue is the most important. And if there's anything that I think really hit home with artists during COVID, it is that they were getting a very small percentage of the revenue associated with their music or art. And, as long as things were going along, perhaps they were tolerating that. But the moment that there was not the ability to perform, even if they had a year of savings, a year and a half of savings, it all evaporated, and then they realized that there were lots of people who were still doing well, who perhaps did well from their performances, from their art, but they were suffering, right? So revenue is key. Now, when you say what is the killer revenue is something that you don't have to do anything for on a daily basis other than attract fans. There's obviously lots of things you can sell where you get 95% of NFTs, 95% of merchandise, but the real killer revenue is the advertising. So let me just pause for a moment to explain that in answer to your question. Of course, we cannot claim that we know exactly how much advertising will produce per installation of an app for an artist, right? But we have done projections, and while those projections may vary from territory to territory, they may be different than we expected them to be. We think that for an installation of an artist app, that they might better earn $1.44 per installation per month. So let's say, as has been suggested, it's not. Let's say it's only a ringgit, right, rather than $1.44 US, right? Whatever it is, right, if they get 10,000 apps installed, they will earn that money. Now, the way it works is an artist sends out their app to their fans. The fan then goes on to install the main app from the App Store. That fan belongs to the artist. It doesn't matter whether that fan is listening to the artist's music, looking at the artist's art or whatever, that fan belongs to the artist, and once they belong to the artist will earn from it. So we're actually trying to do two things. We're trying to make it the case that the non-mainstream, non-superstar artists can earn a living, and we're also trying to make it the case that that living doesn't vary according to popularity from week to week or month to month or year to year. That at the end of the day, that artist, right, if they have a fan base, they will get a stable income from that fan base. And that to us is very, very important. It's a very different model that exists at the moment. The model, for example, that exists in music is you have a pool of money, let's say from music subscriptions, and according to how many plays of your song, you get a portion of the pool. The problem is that if you're non-superstar artist, that portion is so little that it amounts to almost no money for you, right? So we want a very different model which is much more lucrative and much more stable, and we think we've got it.
Alan, can I add something?
Berita yang interesting, engage, cakap dengan diorang, right? You know, so slowly as an artist, you understand the importance of how to engage with your fans. So I'm not going to say it's going to be easy from day one because not everybody knows how to do this. But the toolbox yang ada dekat Fenix ni is going to allow you to do these things quickly and boleh belajar. You do the first thing, maybe not so great. But as you do more and more and more and you engage more, then your fans will teach you. In fact, if you look at Jerry Lee's punya benda profile tadi, ada fan punya update dekat dia punya site. So the fans are sending Jerry material that they have done for her. So this is about learning how to engage with your community and your fan base. You know, and the tools, how to create an NFT, how to create apps, is all there. Okay.
So is this a way, Andy, Sandy, and Alan, a way to sort of bring the artist into the
Yes.
the modern way
Yes.
of doing things?
So
It's
that's
kind
why
of
the
forced them to do
revolution
that.
of Fenix is that it fast tracks the indie artist community into all the latest thing yang ada dalam dunia ni pasal technology and whatever, allows them to participate quickly and easily. And the more they practice and the more they engage, the more they will improve their skills and become better and become more successful.
But one point I want to make, and that is you mentioned coding. No coding is required whatsoever. No technical skills are required whatsoever. I am not a coder, as you might have guessed. I'm not a builder of apps. I can build an app, right? Indeed, right, it should be the case that any artist whatsoever, whatever technical skills they may have, can build their own app. Now, it's just in terms of that, and I'll just spend 2 minutes because we're a little pressured for time and I could go on about this app endlessly, but...
You got 2 minutes, Alan, let's do this.
I'm going to do them in one. In any event, there's 26 basic functions. Here is one of them. They have a lot of sub-functions. This function is called artist management. So it's where you add songs, product, bio, where you can reward people, where you can send notifications. One of the problems with social media is you can't directly communicate with the fans you accumulate on social media. Here you can, and you can not only do that, but you can actually know exactly where your fans are down to street address without any violation of privacy. It's just a username. You can find out your revenue daily, weekly, monthly, right? You can have this mailing list. Any fan that puts themselves on a mailing list, you can mail them directly. You can know how many fans you've got, how many apps you've got, right? What's your top selling products. The idea is it's not an infinite number of tools, but it's a lot of tools, and we'll keep on adding. We do not claim the app is anywhere where we ultimately want it to be. There's so much that we're adding on. but this is a process that we really want the artist communities around the world to really engage in and help us create the perfect product so the artist is liberated from being unable to earn a living from their art. Because the truth of the matter is, if you only have 5,000 fans, you should be able to earn a living.
Thanks, Alan. Have we got anything to add, Sandy? Can we move forward?
Lance
Yeah,
is
we're going to have Lance. Okay, thanks, Alan, for that demo. We've got a bit more of an understanding of